You've tuned into the RevUP podcast, broadcasting straight from Ducati Sanford in sunny central Florida. We're not just talking motorcycles, we're diving deep into the brilliant minds of business leaders, entrepreneurial pioneers, speed demons on the track, influential game changers, and downright rad people crushing this game called life. Let's rev up.
Welcome to the RevUP podcast. Thank you.
Here we are.
We are super excited. We are here today with two special guests, Tony V and Armando. And they are actually, Tony V is our vice president of our Ducati official club, and Armando is our president. So we wanted to get these guys on the pod and have a little conversation and have some fun, learn a little bit about them and the club, and just have a chat. So here we are.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Every time I do it,
Fist bumps.
Nice. Appreciate it.
Bumpaholic.
Good way to
Coming
start.
in, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, like you said, we're just gonna kind of go through and talk about how you got into motorcycles and how you found us and how you found Ducatis as well. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, let's go with Armando first, since you're our president. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, like I said, my name is Armando. Came from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And what got me into motorcycles? As a child, watching movies, gangs movies.
Gang movies. What was it? Do you remember which one it was?
I don't remember specific movies,
all right.
but you know, I watched the gangs coming into the town. Everybody's scared of them.
Yeah.
Tattoos, leather jackets, all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
I want to be like that when I grow up.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be like that when I grow up. I got the tattoos and the leather jackets and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, my first bike was a Honda Shadow 600.
Nice. Great bike.
Yeah.
Was that in Puerto Rico? Or
Yes, it was back in Puerto
Oh, wow.
Rico.
So you're riding in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I rode the whole island in one day.
First day. The first day.
No, not the first day.
Oh,
not the
okay.
first
All right.
day.
Yeah.
But we did it with a couple friends.
Yeah.
And I ended up...
How long did it take you?
16 hours.
16 hours. You rode 16 hours?
Yeah.
Did you stop?
Yeah, we stopped.
Okay.
We stopped.
You stopped,
Like
hung out.
every couple miles we stop and eat, bathroom,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I've done on a bike, like rolling that much.
We'll do that again.
Yeah.
Always been a dream of mine, being on a super bike.
Okay.
The first time that I saw a Ducati, it was in the movie Flat
Yeah.
with
That's right.
Morgan, not Morgan Freeman, it's Lauren Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah.
And one of the Baldwin.
Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah.
And one of the Baldwin
Baldwins.
brothers.
Yep. That's the first time almost everybody got the first experience of Ducati.
Beautiful
And they were
bike,
riding the
and-
mountain.
Yep. And I fell in love.
Yeah.
And it was only a dream in my head to have one of those bikes. So I moved to the United States, and when I went looking for the bike, I saw on YouTube the Troy Bayliss special edition coming out.
Oh, the V2. Yes.
And I saw when they presented it to him, and I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with that bike. It had to be that one.
Yeah.
But it was only a dream in my head. And I came and see you. I look online. I look for Ducati dealership.
Yep.
I got Ducati Sanford. I came and see you.
Yep.
We talked.
Yep.
And I remember you told me, had you been in one of these before? I was like, no. And you got the white
The white V2. Yeah.
And you said, get on it. I can't reach the ground.
No, you
I
got on
couldn't.
and I remember your legs like just swinging.
And that was good that you asked me to do that because...
It's a reality check.
Yeah, yeah. So then I was like, man, I can't reach the ground. I can't buy that bike. But then I went on home and looked on YouTube how to ride a sport bike for short people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's what did it.
I got a couple.
Isn't that crazy?
YouTube's a magical thing.
It really
That's
is.
the best school, man.
It really is.
So
So
much.
one thing to led to another, and I called you back,
Yep.
and you told me about the deposit. I went and put the deposit.
You did.
And I got the bike. I got my dream bike,
Yeah. The first
Well,
one.
the
The
first
first one. Yeah. Yeah.
the Troy Bayliss
Yeah.
special edition.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Most beautiful bike I ever seen in my eyes.
Yeah, it really is. It is one of the best looking bikes.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, you put a ton of like accessories.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did custom wheels. You did a ton of stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Yours is
It was
very,
unique.
very unique.
Yeah.
And it is very tastefully done.
Yes.
It was very nice. And we're saying was because unfortunately it's not here anymore, but it happens. And we just keep going. So
I have a little hiccup with that, but
that's all right. Hiccups, you're still here, you're still riding. How about you, Tony? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, What got me into bikes?
Yeah, everything. Tell us your story, man.
Well, it all started on a cold night.
Uphill both ways in the snow.
My grandfather, he was like my mentor growing up. You
Yeah.
know, some of us are lucky to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I grew up around Honda Goldwings. He always had a Goldwing. And as a little kid, he was a member of the Goldwing Club.
Oh, cool.
And I'd go on rides with him, sit on the back of the Goldwing, and hang out with his club buddies.
Nice.
And I always thought that was pretty cool. And
It shapes you. It like gets in there, right? And just you start just going crazy.
yeah, so I always pictured myself on a motorcycle. I just
Right.
didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I knew at some point I would do it.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until his passing that he left a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I can't think of any better way in his honor,
honor.
with his money,
Yeah.
than to buy my first 2 wheels. So at the time, I was really into like vintage motorcycles. I
Yeah.
kind of wanted something like that and something simple that I could mess around with. And so I found a bike that was built by some kid over at UCF, and he restored it for the most part.
Yeah.
And it was an old 1966 Honda CA 160. So it's 161 cc's.
Oh, wow. You were a power.
Man,
That was a powerhouse.
A funny story about that. So the first time I really started riding it, well, I researched YouTube how to ride motorcycles.
Oh, yeah? No way.
So it's like not only how to ride as a short guy, because I'm also short, but also
Right.
just how to ride in general. So I remember riding around
Man,
in somebody's
YouTube.
yard. The bike was delivered to my house in the back of an El Camino.
Really? An
Yeah,
El Camino.
that's all
Nice.
of a motorcycle.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was awesome. So I got on it, and the speedometer was in kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Not miles per hour.
I had that happen to me.
I remember I'm on that bike. I look down. I'm like, oh my God, I'm flying. I'm flying. Well, I mean, the fastest that bike ever went was in the back of my buddy's truck going up, you know. but it was a slow bike. It was a fun bike. And I had that for
How
a
old were
while.
you?
I started riding about 12 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, 12
Really?
years ago.
So you're 12 now? And no.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm 24.
24. Nice. 24.
No, so I had that bike for a while, and that's when I started my first gentleman's ride, because that bike fit the motif. So DGR, I got really involved in DGR.
You still
really
are.
passionate about DGR, and we can talk more about that later if we have time. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I had that bike, and then it wasn't fast enough. Obviously, 161 cc's. You can't go on many roads on that thing. So I upgraded to a little bit newer of a Honda. Had that for a while. That also got a little boring. That was only 300 cc's.
Oh, gosh.
And,
but you were making baby steps.
I was
That's
making
good.
baby steps, and I was comfortable all along the way. I never felt uncomfortable on any of the motorcycles I've had yet.
Wow.
So I felt pretty good. And I don't know if we want to go into the Ducati or story.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, whatever you want to do. However,
So I had
it's
the little
yours.
Honda. A buddy of mine, he had a Harley, and we'd ride together here and there, and a few other friends with motorcycles. And we took a trip to Tampa to watch the Yankees spring training game. And
Okay.
I remember having that bike pegged out to the max.
All the
And-
way.
all the way, and it
Yeah.
was just a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
Having something pegged out all the way, and you're still just, I mean, it just, you always want a little something left. you know?
Yes. Yes.
And so I thought, when I get back, I got to start looking for something different, you know. And I did. I'd seen Ducatis around, and just like you know, you see your first Ducati, and you're just like, wow, what is that? It's just such a different bike. And I had gone by Sky Power Sports when you guys first built it. I'm a police officer in Central Florida,
Yeah.
and I was around the area with my partner at the time, and we went in, and I believe I saw you, Nate. It was right soon after you guys were opening. In fact, Ducati wasn't even really in there. It was where you showed me where the area where it was
Where it's
going to
going to
be.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, cool. Well, I'm kind of going to wait and see, you know,
See what
as
these guys got.
yeah,
going.
see how things go. And so
That's
I went in one day later when I got tired of that little Honda, and I walked in the door and I met David. And at the time, a guy, Patrick, was working with David.
Yeah.
And this is about 2019.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I could afford anything in there. I didn't know what it was going to be like, you know.
Yeah.
And immediately felt welcome. There was no pressure. You know, sometimes you walk into the dealerships and you can almost hear that Jaws music. You know, you just feel like you're kind of like prey in the water, like you're just waiting to like make a big mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like that. We talked about all kinds of things.
Yeah, we did.
And I left on a Monster.
You did that day. That's
I
right.
left on a Monster, and I loved it. I loved that bike, and had that for a couple years. And then I'm just on this motorcycle journey, you know?
Yeah.
This is where I'm at right now.
It's really cool.
And I turned
Both
the
you guys.
Monster in, and I got a Super Sport. I wanted something I can travel a little further on. I've got a kid in college, and I like to go visit them when I can. And so it's kind of fun to have a bike that I can tool around on and go a little further on. And that's the Super Sport for me right now.
Yeah.
And
Great bike.
and as I'm riding through you with you guys and the Ducati, that's when you offered the position with the club as you're trying to grow the club. And
Yeah.
and here we are.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys have always been pretty active and
Yeah.
showing up to our rides and being at our meetings. And you guys have always been a familiar face. So it's cool to see you guys kind of leading the mission now. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm really curious to see where you guys want to take this thing and what we're going to do in 2024 to kind of elevate the club and just maybe talk about some rides and things, events. I mean, you had some great initiatives that you helped us with last year.
Mm-hmm.
The bicycle drive with the sharing
That
center.
was
So,
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, we want to do all these things again. So if you want to talk a little bit about like what your
Yeah.
plans are.
Yeah, no, it's been an honor, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know I don't have one of the most expensive Ducatis, and you guys don't care.
No.
And you know what I found? I found a lot of the Ducati riders don't care either.
No.
And I've met some of the greatest people on two wheels, and that's one thing. I listening to you guys' podcast. That's one thing that I hear. Not only is Ducati Sanford like a family, which you guys are, and you've treated me like that. The people around us, our community, is just the same.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to talk a little bit about Motivita and Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel, who was on our podcast.
Yeah,
Wearing the jacket. I mean, he's such a cool guy. And,
He helps us so much with everything.
Yeah.
And a great client, great customer, great family member.
Wonderful guy. And then also that crew at 73 Moto.
Yeah,
You know,
those
what
guys
a
are great.
Great thing they've got going on there, and just getting started.
Yeah.
But
so the bicycle drive, you kind of
Yeah.
headed that thing up.
yes.
Oh,
You just walk us through that, what that was
Yeah.
like,
Get me back
and
on
how
point
how it turned out, and
Yeah.
where that all came from, because you really kind of led the charge on that.
You did. And it
Yeah.
came out fantastic.
I think we've all got different upbringings and humble upbringings in Puerto Rico, and I've heard some of your guys' stories while listening to the podcast, and also getting to know some of the members of the club. We're in a lucky place. We can afford these great motorcycles, and we can also give back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I mentioned that, the amount of people that are members of the club were on fire about it,
Yeah.
and including you guys.
Yeah.
And so we thought of trying to find a way that
To give back.
we could give back, but also kind of keep the two-wheel focus.
Yes.
And
You did that. You did that.
Everybody remembers their first two wheels, and it's a bicycle,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And we don't jump right on a motorcycle. And you ride a block from home, and you feel like, wow, I'm out there. I'm on my own now.
I'm exploring.
And every kid deserves that.
Yes.
And so what I found in my line of work is some of these kids, underprivileged kids that are walking to and from school, sometimes a greater distance than necessary, and a bicycle would help them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they could sleep in a
lot.
little bit if they could ride a bike to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, well, that would be cool. How about we take that angle and try to get some bicycles to some kids that need it for going to and from school.
Yeah.
So I reached out just down the street here to a local place called the Sharing Center, and they help the community greatly with people in need. And really what it is, it's a whole shopping plaza
Yeah.
of resources, and everything from classes to getting them dressed up with clothes, to getting haircuts and places to shower.
For
and
interviews.
I mean,
and
you name
everything.
it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Got it.
They were great people.
Great people. So I reached out to them and I said, hey, is it possible we can formulate a list of like some kids in the area that are in need that maybe could use a bicycle, and mainly school-age kids. And they did. The first list I got was about, 16, a little under 20 kids. Remember?
Yes.
I'm like, we can do this.
We can do this.
We can do this.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, then the list grew to about 45.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is going to be challenging, because we want to get them all helmets too.
Right.
Safe.
Not only,
And,
yeah.
And did the group come through? The club came through. Everybody came through. We had a surplus of bikes.
Yes.
And not only that, Nate, you had your guys over at the warehouse put the bikes together, some of them. And I mean, just the generosity was just like waves in a tide. I mean, it just kept growing and growing, and everybody got involved, and everybody got passionate about it. And
Yeah.
we had enough bikes that every kid had a bike, and there's some left over. Because we had some kids show up. We knew their age and
Yes.
favorite color
Yeah.
and their name.
Right.
But we didn't necessarily know if
It would fit him.
If Timmy
Yeah.
was a 5-foot Timmy,
Or he
12
was
years old, or he's like
6'2". Yeah.
Exactly. We had some of that. So we had
Yes.
some other bikes that they could trade their bike in for something that fit.
Yeah.
And we had people out there from the club to help adjust the bikes. Get the
Steven.
seats set.
Yeah, Steven was there,
man.
Celia.
Steven was out there. Celia was out there.
Yeah,
Vixen. I mean, so many people.
Yeah.
Some of the
Oh,
members.
Don and Kevin.
Don.
Oh, my God. They were
came through.
so amazing.
Don's son, I don't know how he
Yes.
was, about 12 years old maybe.
Yep.
He even spent his own money on buying a kid a bike.
Nate's son came out and was showing the kids how to do wheelies because
Yes.
we ride the big BMX bikes, and
Yes.
so Liam came out and was showing the kids wheelies and the stuff that he does
Sure was.
to inspire them. You know what I mean? To start playing around. Wear your helmet, of course.
Well, you
Right.
did we did the safety course.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did the safety course.
And I was surprised how many kids there had never ridden a bicycle before.
Ever.
They didn't know how to ride a bicycle. And I was out there and trying to help where I could. And then there's, the mom was trying to teach the son how to ride the bike. And
Yeah.
she was kind of struggling. So I took over. And essentially, this kid, if I would have not held onto this bike, he would have just taken off. He was ready to go, man.
Yeah.
So we're out there, we're teaching this little boy how to ride a bicycle
For the first time. Isn't that
It's
cool?
like, man, those are milestones that as a father, like you never forget.
Nope.
Like it's just the most amazing opportunity to be able to do that. And then I'm doing it with a stranger out there, and I'm like, man, what a special opportunity. Talk about
Yeah.
feeling rewarded.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
It was
Everybody
so
left there
neat.
feeling better than the kids that got the bike.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
felt great. I mean, there was one little girl who didn't understand that she was riding her bike around, and it was time for them to load the bike in the car for them to leave.
Yes.
And she wouldn't let go of the bike. She's screaming, crying, even though we're just trying to put the bike in the
In the car. We're not
but she
taking it
thought
from
she was
you.
losing it. But yeah, it was such a rewarding.
It
event.
was.
And it's something that when you do that with the club, they just want to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of addicting, right?
Yeah.
Because we did that and it was so rewarding and it was such like an accomplishment for us that we're like, okay, let's do this again, but how do we take it to the next level? What are we going to do for 2024? So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
really
wait,
hoping
before that, we just did the toy ride for the kids too for Christmas. So we did that one, then we got to do that. And unfortunately, it was a kind of a rainy, muggy day. It ended up being really nice. And we had another customer that gave us some gift cards that we were able to give the nurses that he really was adamant. The kids are getting the stuff for Christmas, and so I grabbed a stack and I added a stack of Wawa cards, and I just started running up to nurses and handing them $50 Wawa cards, and they're freaking out.
They love
And I'm
that.
like, I didn't care. And they were like, no, you. And I'm like, no, enjoy. And they're like, thank you. I was getting hugs, and we got to enjoy that part. So that's that giving back that makes it so much fun. We show up on the bikes, and all the kids are playing it on the windows, and you can see them. And you guys both had so much. Involvement and being a part of that and making the club, a family and doing that stuff, because I don't know any other clubs that are going that far. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they say. We have a great group of guys that want to give back. That's not about them.
Unbelievably
And it's
true.
crazy.
Couldn't say it better myself. Yeah,
It's
that's exactly
crazy.
the group that we have. And I know when we went over to the hospital this last time, we've done it 2 years now in a row.
Yes.
It's our second year doing it. And this was the toys we raised were even more than last year.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And there was one little girl, remember her?
Yes, she was amazing with her Spider-Man.
Had a little Spider-Man pajamas
Yes.
on, real curly hair.
Yes.
She must have been about 3 or 4
I
years
gave her
old.
mom one of those cards too.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice. That was
Mama's got to
nice.
be taken care of.
Absolutely. Got to take care of mom.
Yes.
But that little girl spotted us. We're unloading the toys. She
Yes.
spotted this little mermaid,
Yes.
and she just, that was it. That's the toy she wanted.
She wanted it.
And of course, who's
Of
going
course.
to say no?
No.
She got that toy right away. She got her first pick. So.
Yes. We had pictures of you with her and
Yeah.
showing and
We did.
playing
She
with
was
it.
so concerned. That little girl was so concerned because it rained a little bit.
Yeah.
And my bike was wet.
She
And then
started wiping
and
it
she took a
down.
towel, and that little girl didn't want me to leave without my bike dry.
Yes.
And then there was kids up in the windows that couldn't come down.
Yeah.
And they were up there, and
we revved up the bikes for them.
yes.
And
That one little boy came down.
Yes.
Who from intensive care.
Yes.
We brought him down, and he's in there. He was receiving treatment for cancer. He had you could see a tumor on the side of his face that was
Yeah.
pretty intense.
God bless him.
But yeah, God bless him and his family. They were
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
he loved every second.
Yeah, he made me turn on the bike that I'm riding now. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you have to
that
throw
was
in
meant to
there.
be.
That's right.
That was
Sure
meant to be.
A good old Street Fighter.
Yeah, no, and it was a good time. And you're right. We have to elevate 2024.
Yeah, we gotta do it. We gotta do it again. We can't sit back and just
Yeah, let's just put you on the spot. So what do you guys want to do?
Armando.
Well, we got big things coming up, man.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
And to me, it's a big honor just to be part of this family. The way that you guys embrace each one of us is different for anything.
Yeah, I
It's
appreciate that.
You can get that anywhere. Like, it's just the honest truth. And yeah, we got.
Don't make me cry. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? No.
Come on, you know, I got you.
Cut.
No, but we got big plans this year. We're gonna be sitting and putting all that on the table, and it's just about that giving and elevate
Yes.
what we have.
We have a
done.
really good synergy between the group and the dealership. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's just like we all work together. It's a community.
It's
We've
a big
built this up,
family.
so it is a big family. And
We can't do it without them. You know what I mean? They're out there riding every weekend, talking about us, talking about the bikes, you know, talking about their experiences like we're doing now and the stuff that they have planned. And more people want to get involved. Kind of to shoot back, the Race to 200 we started, and I got 5 messages last night alone of how do I become a part of the Race to 200. And they're like, so I have to buy a bike. And what number do I get to pick my number? No, you just got to. And everybody got so excited. Robert Lightsey called me after he saw the pictures of it. And he's like, dude, I'm hoping I get 3 of those, right? Because he's got 3 bikes on order. And, you know, when you get a new bike, it's going to be certified by us. And just to make that extra little cool thing to be a part of that family that nobody else has.
Those ideas that count.
And it's fun. It's not even about, you know, the sale. It's more about, believe it or not, to me, and having that party at the end where everybody's going to feel a part of something.
Yeah.
And then we had an idea about maybe even doing a raffle for something cool for just, listen, these guys, and the club's going to be there. Whether they bought this year or not, the club's always going to be there and be a
I'm
part of that.
invited too then.
Yes, yeah. Well,
We're
you
in.
know, it's a little charge. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But yeah, well, of course, because we want you guys to meet the newer riders and the ones that haven't been able to come out, because you are our front line. You're the ones that I can talk you guys up all I can, but we got to get them involved with the club more and get them involved with you guys and meeting you guys and saying, hey guys, we're going to do this ride. We do have a lot of older customers that don't use social media. So we really have to find a way to get towards them, either opening a group chats on text message or something, because I am getting a lot of slack when people are coming in saying, hey man, I heard that you guys had a ride and it looked great. I wish I could have been at the Christmas one or the, you know what I mean? Different things.
yeah,
So-
maybe we got to open up our communication channels a little better
Correct.
so everyone has access. But,
Correct.
I mean, for the listeners that aren't familiar with the Ducati official club and what it is and
Of Central
how
Florida.
it works, I mean, can you guys kind of walk us through, you know, what the club is? Like, when do you guys meet up? What do you typically do? What does it look like to be a club member?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, we've got it now that when you sign up, I think yearly, there's a little card that you get, and you're a member, and there's a couple little things that Ducati hands out. And
Speaking of that, I just renewed everybody.
good.
Yeah, I did. Yesterday, it was 283 active members.
Yeah.
283.
And that's my goal. I think that's our goal as a club. Like, we've got 283 members.
Yes.
But let's make sure we're reaching out to them.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to
Correct.
make sure that, like, I think what worked with the bicycle drive,
Yes.
because everybody wasn't on social media, I spent a lot of time texting people.
You did. That's
On
what I'm
the
saying.
phone.
We need to do a large group. You know what I mean? Somewhere where we can get everybody
Or if we
involved.
even had some type of a newsletter,
Yeah.
that even like a printout that we could leave at the dealership, that when people can come in, they can grab a newsletter. And that newsletter can
That
just
is
have a few things
amazing.
laid out.
Yeah.
And then
See?
if they have any questions about it,
Yeah.
maybe put our numbers on the newsletter, and
Yes.
they can just shoot us a text, and we can fill them in
Yes,
on
let's
something
do a
current.
newsletter.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's go back. Yeah, sorry. I
Gives
didn't
them
mean
a
to
point,
yeah.
a point of contact too. So,
Yeah.
so you buy a new Ducati or a pre-owned Ducati, or you already have a bike and you want to join the club. You join the club. Where does it go from there? There's monthly meetings
Yeah.
that take place?
First thing you got to mention, and you guys make this possible, 0 dues.
Right.
We're not one of the clubs that is asking for money.
No.
And that's
Yeah,
a
I saw
wonderful
that.
thing.
Yes, I saw that. And you
Yeah.
saw that too.
And I think some clubs do that.
Yeah.
And there's reasons
That's fine.
behind the dues.
Yeah.
But we try to formulate a couple rides a month.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes more. It depends on kind of certain events that are going on in Central Florida that are going
Some
on.
pop-ups,
Kinda
too.
Cool that we want to show up. Pop-up events
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And we try to push that out. Instagram is what I push out mainly. I know there's also Facebook. I think
Yep.
the Instagram posts go to Facebook now. But we usually meet at Ducati Sanford for a lot of our rides. It's a perfect meeting spot. You guys take care of us. Usually have some donuts or coffee out or something for us.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We have a little brief meeting. If there's some kind of updates, sometimes there's a raffle. You guys give away something, which is really cool.
Yeah. We try.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Make it fun.
It is fun. Yeah. And then we go over a few of the safety things. And I'll tell you, law enforcement officer for 17 years. The main goal on our rides, and I lead most of them.
Yes, sir.
The main goal on our rides is let's get from point A to point B.
Yep. Safely.
Safely. Have some fun,
Yes.
but be safe is primary.
Yes. Yeah.
And we enjoy the road on two wheels and the journey, and that's what it's about. And when you have a bigger ride like that, you got to take certain precautions, and we make sure that we're all together. We all get to the destination we're going. Destinations have been fun. I mean, we've been to some crazy things. We've been to the Daytona 200.
Yep.
Got to meet Josh Heron there.
Yep.
And in the winner's circle, and after he met with us after.
Yeah.
And I got to hang out with him and his family. We've gone to the beach and had a cool lunch out there.
Yeah.
We've gone to
The
different
German restaurant out in Mount Dora.
Dora. I mean, really cool places that we try to get somewhere, spend some time talking, getting to know each other, and planning what's next, because those guys have good ideas too.
They do.
You know, we're
They
not
do.
the
What-
ones-
yeah, no.
We're actually not the ones with the ideas.
We went
They
to
bring the
Buc-ee's.
ideas.
We went to Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah. You got to go to Buc-ee's.
there.
Yeah.
We hit
I was
Buc-ee's.
excited.
There was so many bikes when you guys called me. It was amazing. So I got to
There's
see
like
that.
40 something
riders.
Ducatis.
Yeah, all in
nuts.
one little one big ass gas station, I
Yeah.
should say. And
Yeah.
they were all, and they called me and they're on FaceTime me. I'm like, oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, I was proud.
42 riders and 40 were Ducatis.
Yeah. That was just
So,
crazy.
Just to add,
No, go ahead.
everybody's invited to the rides.
Yes.
You don't have to own a Ducati. The main goal is like switch it, get to
Correct.
the Ducati.
Correct. Yeah, no, I'm glad you
But
said
everybody's
that. Yep.
welcome to come and join us.
Yep.
Have fun with us.
Yep.
And like I said, the main goal.
The goal is to move them. Yeah,
Trade it in for a Ducati,
because
you
that's
know?
how you find out. Some people, they did see it on TV and they did feel like maybe it's out of my reach.
Right.
And when you get to meet you guys and you start saying, well, no, it's actually not. And then let me introduce you to the guy that takes care of us, which is us, and we appreciate that. And
Or they're
we
listening
want that.
to the wrong podcast and reading the wrong blogs
Blogs
about
or forums.
Ducati riders.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's totally a wrong stereotype.
It really
is.
There's two types. You know what I mean? There's definitely two types. There's the guys that work their butts off for their first one and stay with them for a long time. And then there's also the guy that walks in and strokes a check for 10 of them.
Right.
We have all those guys and they all get treated the same.
But I've never seen anybody drink with their pinky up.
No.
I've never, that.
Well, no, it's good.
They're all approachable people.
It's a diverse group.
It
You know,
is.
we got doctors, surgeons in the group. We got police officers, lawyers. We got regular working class Joe
Rock
we got
stars.
rock stars. We got just the most diverse group of people, and everybody is like
Yeah.
cool with each other.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, everyone's just like
Lawyers,
cool,
everything.
whatever. Like it doesn't matter what your profession is. We're here to ride motorcycles, have fun, and give back, and have a good time. Like it doesn't matter what I do, my 9 to 5.
That's it.
That's right. It's when we get on those two wheels and go ride and build that bond
Yeah.
and try new things and
Yeah.
try new bikes and
I remember
you know.
we went out to the equestrian center.
Yes.
Cala.
Oh, God.
There was a car show out there.
Yeah.
It was a festival
Festival
of Speed.
Yeah.
And David, because he's got to work a lot of the rides, sometimes we
Yeah.
do the rides on Saturday. He doesn't join us on all of them, but he got to join us.
Yeah.
And I remember looking over at him, and I could see his smile through the helmet,
Yeah.
and he was having the best time. And that's what it's all about. Is
I
just
forget.
getting out there and like
You're right.
it feeds the soul, and nothing else does it. And when you're with the right people, it makes it even better.
It does. And you were right. Because I'm so involved in the everyday, mumbo jumbo of, getting you guys out there and getting new riders out there that I forget about how important it is even for me. And I said it today, and you saw my post. I was like, it's a true statement that you'll never see a motorcycle in front of a therapist's office unless the therapist owns it. And it's true because on my way to work today, it was cold and I didn't care. I was smiling the whole time and just enjoying the ride. I look back, my son's behind me, following me to work. And I'm like, man,
Cold for Florida.
it's cold for Florida. Yeah. It was 48 degrees this
Not
morning.
cold for Michigan, right?
Right. No. That's like a summer day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I'm smiling the whole time. And when you said that, I knew exactly what you were saying because I looked over at you and you just saw me smiling and it made you smile.
Oh my God.
And I felt
Biggest kick.
oh my God. And I hadn't felt that alive in a long time. And I get to watch you guys leave and I get to watch you guys come back, and I'm like, oh, okay, have good, but we need to do that more. We have to.
I mean, there's nothing.
And now we got you on 2 weeks again.
Oh yeah. Soon everything's gonna fall into place, and we're gonna go riding. You guys, well, wait a minute. You have a track day coming up, don't you?
Oh yeah,
Tomorrow.
Yes,
Oh my God! At Jennings
Nice to
GP, one of my favorite places.
yeah. That's another.
And what did I tell you? The
level.
goal is I'm gonna get healthy. Which damn, I ended up gaining a bunch of weight. I'm gonna start riding more, which I'm in the process of. And I told you at least by the end of the year, I'm gonna do a track day with you guys. So
Oh yeah, man.
that's the plan. And now you guys, this is going to be one of your first track days, and it's going to be exciting,
Yeah,
man. And you got Celia going, you have Bob going out there.
It's a nice group.
It's a nice group.
Miguel's
Yeah,
gonna be
Miguel
up there.
Motovita's sponsoring
gonna
it.
be a
Yeah.
sponsor.
Yep.
Bob's gonna be there. Like
It's going to be fun.
man.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for you guys. We
Can't
gotta
wait
get
for you
out
to
there.
join.
Oh yeah, you'll see me out there. I don't even know. I've never been on those tracks or anything.
You only lived on them for a while.
I did, and I am. I've been dreaming about it. I have ever since I have rode that black Street Fighter. I have had dreams, and I wasn't going to tell you guys of being on the track. And I woke up, told my wife, I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to get a pair of leathers. She goes, are you for real? I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to get a pair of leathers. She goes, all right, do what you want to do. She's excited for me. She loved it because she was my pit crew. So it was just me and her when we went. The boys were a little, and we had twins, so we couldn't have them out at the track because they go like this. You know, you got two little boys going, Joe, look at that, look at that. So my mother and her mom, God rest her soul, they would watch them, and she was my pit crew. So I would put my bike up on the stands, pull off the wheels, put them in her red wagon, and she had her little pink mechanic's gloves, and she'd go over to Leon at the Pirelli truck, and she'd pull up, and he'd grab them out of there for her, change my tires, tell her what tire pressure to tell me to run.
No way.
And I'd go back, and she'd say, hey, the weather is this, the temperature is going to be this, so run it at this temperature or this pressure, and put your warmers on and let them sit. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'd put it on, and she helped me through everything. And so I think secretly she's more excited than I am.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be out
I knew
there
she
doing
was
that.
pretty
Yeah.
special.
It was really cool. And kind of go back on yours. So my first motorcycle I bought, my grandmother passed away and left me a little bit of money. And I bought my first motorcycle, and then I found out I was having twins. So that motorcycle went to somebody else. But I did ride it for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
Not even a year, but I had a blast on it. And that started my obsession.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, let's talk about anything new that you want to do or anything exciting that you guys have that you want to talk about right now.
I would like to. We did an overnight ride just to the beach.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't
I'd like to
too
be a part
far,
of that.
but I'd like to do something again like that and be a little farther, somewhere we can get some guys together and stay overnight somewhere and hang out and ride around somewhere different. I think that'd be fun. And
I dig it.
Gradually working our way up into maybe even greater journeys in the future. Which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Some
we've been
kind of
talking
long
about doing
distance.
some neat little things, but this guy here has been a little busy.
Yeah, moto camping is what I want
Yes.
to do. Man.
Yeah.
We did
Yes.
that seminar at the dealership
With Climb.
with Climb gear last month, and we got a lot of good feedback on that. And we learned a lot.
Yeah.
and I think that's just like
It's so fun. I've done
really
it off my
cool.
Monster. I did it.
Yeah.
All across the state.
Yeah, it really
It's on my
doesn't matter.
Instagram.
It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter what you're on. You just kind of
As soon as I can get him to kind of, get all his leveled out, that's when I'm going to focus on, all right, let's get this done so we can get the club together and go do that.
Yeah,
Because I really think we should.
love the ideas. You guys always have good ideas too.
Oh, we're all right. We feed off of you guys. That's it. That's it. So,
we got to make it fun.
yeah, I mean,
That's what I mean. We got
If it's not,
business
we're
to
failing.
do. We got to make money, but at the same time, we just have too much creativity like within us. Like we want to.
I know.
We got to get it out of our
Look at
system.
where we're
So
at.
We're always talking and ideas, this and that, and but the cool thing about us, like when we collaborate on that level, we typically get it done. Like
Yeah.
we actually, it's not just talk.
No, I
You know,
like
when-
that.
Yeah.
You guys get it done. You guys get it done.
That was a special moment.
Yeah.
That was a special moment, and it was because of you guys. Just so you know, it wasn't because of me. It was because of you guys. We couldn't do it without you. You know what I mean? It just happened to fall in place that everything worked out really good.
The village of Ducati Sanford.
Yeah.
That's right. the village.
The village
Gotta
people.
Be careful about
village
that.
people of Ducati Sanford.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Be
great.
the
I'm
title of the
excited.
show.
Yeah, he's the construction worker guy.
Oh, I am for sure. You're definitely the Indian. You're definitely the Indian.
There is a police officer, right?
There is a police officer.
Got it
And
covered.
then What were you?
But whatever.
The Puerto Rican guy.
That's fantastic.
I think the Indian is Puerto Rican on there.
Is he really? Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. They couldn't.
We have 2 Indians then. It's fine.
I'm not sure, but I think so. Yeah.
Right. But they're definitely, we're. I don't know where we came up with that. That's fantastic. We're the village people of Ducati Sanford.
Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, I mean, you got anything you want to talk about? What you got going on?
No, man. I mean, I've been running and gunning, super busy. I got another dealership.
There you go.
That I, acquired. So I've been like, man, running like crazy doing that. And luckily, I got such a good support staff around me. They've been able to hold it down at the Ducati store for me. So I have nothing to worry about there. I just, between the staff that's running that store and the, guys like you and the club and everybody coming in there and just, you guys hold it down for me. So I just,
he's growing.
I'm
Congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
man.
So
I'm excited.
I
Just
appreciate.
don't outsell this one.
No.
Just different setup.
A little bit of a different setup.
Yeah.
It's a whole new journey for me, but
It's cool.
I'm excited, and we'll see what the future holds. But
It's actually his, where he got his, not start, but your career, I think.
yeah.
That's where he
It was
got his
definitely
career.
a stepping stone.
Yeah, it was a stepping stone that
Interesting. Yeah,
kind of
I
molded him to
listened to
where
you
he
guys'
is
story.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be able to, he's really downplaying this shit. He's really downplaying it.
Nate tends to do
he
that.
really is. Because this was his, when we talk about when I met him and he told me he was leaving like very, very short after we kind of met. And I was like, what the hell? And when he did that, all of a sudden, the industry is very small. And I was in watercraft at another place and they were in watercraft and we were going back and forth with the 2 dealerships. And you always heard Nate's name and you heard our name. And it was really cool. And then for him to kind of go back and say, hey, by the way, I'm here now too. So you know what I mean? So I think it's really rad, man. You've definitely come through with this new thing about growing your community. It really is, because you're now, with Sanford and now opening, building that over there and kind of changing the way it's done and conforming it to something that's a well-oiled machine to where you'll have 2 well-oiled machines going. I think it's pretty freaking cool, and you need to take that and run with it, man. You're killing
I
it.
plan to. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're doing good. And we got, I'm still waiting to get my Ducati tattoo from Josh. You need to tell him when he comes, he needs to bring his machine.
Yeah.
So we can do
We'll
that.
do
Yeah, we got another special thing coming up too soon.
That's
So,
cool.
That's
I
really
think,
cool.
not everyone's given that opportunity to be somewhere in life, to grow individually and as a person, and then go back and share some of that you've gained along the way. That's
It really is. It's really neat. It's really neat.
Yeah, it's
I'm
been
going to
fun,
get
man.
that next. Don't worry.
You will. No doubt about it.
It's been fun, but like I said, I can't do it without having like my core team of people around me and my family to support me.
Oh yeah, Cortese, all those guys are over
Really, you got to have a strong support system around you when you're growing at like a fast pace, and scaling a business is so tough. You got to have the right team, man.
Yeah.
So I
sure.
do. So.
And the ideas.
Oh God.
there. Oh God, yeah. at least the idea is actually going to place, so it's kind of cool.
We'll talk about the right team too. The right team. Whenever we do anything with the club, and like I said, a lot of it starts there at the dealership, and everybody is part. There's not one member of you guys' team that doesn't come out, either take some video,
Right.
make sure the bikes are good, offer to clean our helmet.
Yeah, we have our own station
it's
now
just-
for you guys to help out.
Everybody is part, and Zion's rode with us now a little bit.
Yeah,
and
Cody has.
Cody rode with us on the Christmas.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
Right,
I want to do more with it. We just gotta, unfortunately, like you said, we gotta be there.
Gotta work.
to support you guys. You know what I
We
mean?
need you on one of the rides.
Yeah, I'm going to do
go
some
there.
rides this
Yeah.
year. That's my goal.
That would be
that's my goal for 2024 is to actually get out and participate in some of these rides. And
heard
go
that.
and do that.
TikTok Live heard
The man
that
said he's
too.
going to do it. I think.
Right? Yeah.
I just got to figure out which one I'm going to ride. That's the hardest part of the decision.
That would be
Do I
hard.
go Diablo? Do I go Street Fighter? Do I go
Wait.
V4? What am I doing here?
Remember, I asked you which one you got in your garage?
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
it's
God.
really hard, man. Actually, I did a ride with the club, like one of the first rides we ever did. Tony, you may have been on it. I can't remember where we went, but I think we went out to New Smyrna somewhere. But I rode the Diablo.
Okay.
And that was
That was before me.
Yeah, that was like
That was
me
before
and
me.
Janie went.
Yeah, you and Janie went.
Yep. So
Wow.
it was,
I don't think you were there yet.
I don't know.
No, because he hadn't had his bike. He got his bike
In 2019.
when I was there.
Yep.
So it was pre us. That's cool that you did that.
we used to do myself and my wife. We used to do the DGR ride, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. We did that every year for like I think it was like
I'm sure I saw you out there.
3 or 4 years straight. We did it. And then I think someone else kind of took it over, and it kind of got a little disorganized,
A little
and
bit.
we kind of fell off from it. But it would be cool to really get back on that.
like
Yeah,
it
because
too.
we
I
can
wanna
talk
do
about
it
that a little
too.
bit. If
Yeah,
you
we'd
want.
love
I
to
mean,
talk about
Yeah.
that because that's such an important cause. It means
Yes.
a lot to me
So-
personally, and I know it does to you. And you've been active in there, and
Yeah.
what an awesome thing. So why don't you tell us a little
Yeah.
about
So
that?
the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is mainly geared towards classic bikes or vintage styled bikes. However, most of the rides, except other bikes, they just ride towards the back. And
Yeah.
it's all about dressing up and bringing awareness to men's health,
Yep.
cancer, and then also mental health and suicide prevention, which is close and dear to me with losing a daughter to suicide at the age of 19.
God bless her.
So every year when I do the ride, she comes along with me. I've got her
Yes, she
photo.
does.
It's in my vest. I talk to her the whole ride.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's that special to me.
Yeah.
And when you start talking to other people that do the ride, and I know you mentioned it means something to you too. So
Yeah.
you probably have your own personal story.
Yeah. Yep.
And you start talking to these other people that are doing the ride, and they also have the same story. Either lost a father to prostate cancer, or a loved one to suicide, or something different. And then not only that, they have that in common. We're on the bikes,
Yeah.
and we're making it a fun, awesome day, and we're dressed up. We're wearing our
Yeah.
best.
Looking good.
And I know Orlando had some rides where we had hundreds of bikes out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was epic.
Yes.
The best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And that's when I had my 66 little Honda. It put me up towards the front because I fit the whole thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
your style is it. It's
well, I
perfect for
appreciate
it. No,
it.
you look. Every year I've seen the pictures and you look amazing. And this year I'll do it with you. I
So
promise.
you
I give you
were
my
holding
word.
traffic then?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, they sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes.
But yeah. But this year we're doing a ride in Sanford. And I
Okay.
think
Yes.
that's so awesome. And 73 Moto
Yes.
and Sean over there is awesome and leading the charge. And we're going to make it, we're going to go back and we're going to bring all the things that were cool and great about some of our past DGRs.
Yes.
And we're bringing it back this year.
Yeah, it just needed some organization, and I know they switched the date, which
They did.
I think now it's in
It's
September.
in May.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's in May. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
May, I think right around May 19th, somewhere around there.
Yep. And the funny thing is, like, you were on my Instagram years ago because somehow I came across you were taking a lot of pictures and posting a lot of things because you go by Coffee Racer on
Florida Coffee Racer.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And I never knew it was you.
Yeah.
Because you don't take pictures of your self.
Yeah, I
Without,
don't share
without
my-
the helmet
You
on.
always have your
Yeah.
helmet on and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Most of
I'd
it.
followed you forever.
That's wild.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, wait a minute, you're that guy.
I
You knew how
remember
good
that.
looking I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Only ugly people
He
do
asked
that.
me, he goes, we were talking about something, and he said, wait, that's him? And I'm like, yeah. And I was
'cause-
shocked. I'm like, I've known him the whole time.
I would always, through doing the DGR ride, I would always follow, like, you get tagged and stuff, and
Yeah.
you're following the ride and stuff. And so you were always posting stuff. I'm like, Florida Coffee Racer, this guy's taking cool photos, and he's all involved in the ride.
I used to go out to
I'd
Ace a lot.
Yeah, you used to
Yeah.
go out, so I'd follow it, and I was like, and then years later, I'm like, oh, wait, that's the same guy.
Isn't that
wild.
great? Talk about, see?
Yeah.
I
Small
love
world.
the circle. I love
Yeah,
the circles,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Living in circles is awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
ex-girlfriends, those circles, yeah.
You got to go bigger circles. A little bigger circle, you can't stay in that little one.
Back to 73 Moto for a second, because
Yeah.
we kind of touched on them in the first or second episode, but we really haven't talked, just kind of an update as far as where they're at, where they're going.
I don't know how far we can say right now.
But
Are we able to? They're doing a lot of rides. They're still doing, our bike nights are going on. I don't know if we're allowed to say what's getting ready to happen yet, and a lot of people
they've got
don't
some
know.
big things planned.
They have some huge things planned, which we should be able to speak about soon. Well, and what we're going to do is we'll have them on,
Okay.
and we'll have Sean and David and Sarah, or a couple of them on, whatever we want to do. amazing.
I mean,
Yeah,
I wanted to be
amazing.
the best interview, Armando and I.
Yeah.
But if you get John and David and Sarah,
Yeah.
oh, come on.
Listen, it gets better every time. Every
They're
time
amazing.
we watch it and we cringe for a minute, and then it gets better and better and better. The Lightsy one you guys will see soon, and then this one I hope you guys enjoy it and have fun because you guys are great, and it just gets better and better. So there's always going to be my favorite, which is I don't know what it is yet. I think it's our first one. I think it's our first one, believe it or not.
The
But
one on the couch over there?
no,
Oh,
I mean
not that
our
one.
first one where we talk.
Here, okay.
Yeah. Because it
Your
was kind of
stories.
weird. Yeah, our
it was-
stories.
It was cool for me to hear that.
It was, and I get a lot of feedback about it. A lot, and I'm not talking about, hey, I watched. Dave Nitty came in, and I was telling you about that. He's like, man, you guys, and he's a doctor who has the same problem as I did. His neck. And he had to go have surgery, and he's trying to talk me into it. And he was out for a little bit, but he came in the other day, and he goes, David, I just want to tell you something. I said, what, man? And he goes, I love your podcast. He goes, I want more people to see it. He goes, it's all for us. It's for us, the Ducati riders, the riders out there who are in this niche, small world that, I love the fact that you let everybody tell their stories and all this stuff. And I'm like, thanks. Do you really like it? He's David, I would never tell you that if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have said, hey, yeah, great show. Or, you know what I mean? He said, David, I love the fact that you and Nate sit down and let them tell about their stories. And you, because we all want to know about people. And we all want to know about how they got into something, how they got into Ducatis, how they got into motorcycles, how they found you guys.
Yeah.
And he goes, your formula, which kind of it's not really a formula. We just kind of went with it and it fell into place. And everybody that is starting to find it, really do have a lot of positive saying. And I love that.
And they're humble. And
they're
without
humble.
bringing them here, you're never going to know all the wonderful
And now
things
we're
about
getting
them.
people,
They're not
which is
bragging.
really weird, saying, hey, and instead of us asking, hey, do you guys want to be on? They're like, can we be on it? Tony, no, can we be on it? Because I want to be on it. And I've never been like that. I'm like, wait a minute, we're not asking you to be on it? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, people are coming to us, and not that we have many views at all, but it's more about,
Well, the goal initially was to do this very on a local basis, with our friends, our family, and local people. It's just, people. We didn't expect to go like big time with this thing.
Yeah.
You never know where it'll go.
I
we want to have fun.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's what I was getting at is because I've got people that have called me or that reached out to the dealership and said, hey man, I found your guys' podcast and I really like it and I hope it gets more and better and better. We found out a few things that we needed to fix on some things that maybe will show more people who we are to get it out broader, because there's always those algorithms and stuff like that, and they don't, they're not pushing us. We're not blue chipped or
cannot say
anything
that
like
word.
that. What?
Algorithms.
Yeah, I'm surprised you were
Algorithm?
able to you busted that out so smoothly.
Algorithm. and we're not going to, my favorite part of that's funny. My favorite part of this whole thing was the first one when he says, so we're not going to talk about politics and, what was it? Politics and flat Earth. And it just, that right there killed me. And I went, this is it. This is exactly what I want to do. But I don't know how far it's going to go or whatever it goes, but we can't do it without you guys.
Yeah.
And I love this. And to have you guys on, I've been waiting for this day. Mr. Lightsy was exciting, but to me, you guys are our core. You know what I mean? You guys are our core. You're the president and vice president of the Ducati Club the official Ducati Club of Central Florida. And I love you guys. I really do. And I've always, when I see you, I smile. When I see you, I smile. I know that's going to be a great day. We're going to go for a ride. And now I get to be a part of it more. And I'm so excited. I really am.
Keep that excitement alive. That's our whole position here.
Yes.
Awesome.
And on that point, I just want to say I'm thankful for everything you guys done for all of us.
Yeah.
Meeting great people.
Thank you, brother.
And
Thank you.
I do love you all.
Yeah.
You don't get to say that a lot, but
Yeah. No, I love you too, man. You guys are great.
Thank you for
And
everything.
I appreciate you guys. Seriously, you too, man. We love you too.
This is getting soft.
We
man.
can't do this.
Y'all are
right?
getting soft.
And Rob, we love Rob, right? Rob, look at him over there.
Good job, Rob.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, and it is. We don't tell each other and people enough how much we need them and how much it means to us. Because if it isn't, isn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't want to. We wouldn't want to be here and tell stories. So
Awesome. Well, on that
Yes.
note, that was a good closing statement there.
outta
Do
here.
you guys have anything you want to close with or bring up before we shut this thing down?
This is awesome. Thanks.
yeah,
for the
thank you for
invite.
coming.
thank you for the invite. Yeah.
Absolutely,
yeah.
man. It's a pleasure to have you guys on here. This is a
Rev up.
real
Rev
fun
up, man.
conversation. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. TikTok live.
Yeah, TikTok, what's up? yeah, thank you. Subscribe, and we look forward to having you back on here next week.
And don't forget, rev up.
Yeah.
Rev up!